Jake Ducey coming to you here live and direct from a video camera. It took me so long to make this video and there's almost no sunlight left, and I was so pissed off and I thought I ruined my entire day because I let somebody borrow my camera and it wasn't working and the entire screen was black and I thought that it was ruined. And then I realized that none of that happened and that I never even looked through my lens cap and it was never all black, and I just made that entire story up right now because I want to make a point, and that's that we waste so much of our energy and so much of our day thinking that our worries are things worth worrying about. We think that our worries are worth worrying about, but really we see only just a minute, infinitesimal fraction of visible light, and we hear just a tiny fraction equal of available sound and what's out there in the world. Yet we think that what he said and she said and what he did and what they did and how this happened and how that happened is actually something that should seriously be something that should take away our own happiness. But we have to remember that if we want to be happy, we can't compromise on the past because the past doesn't exist anymore. We see just a bit of what's available in the world out of the light that's available and the sound that's available. And if we were able to blast off in a rocket ship, we would see that our problems are absolutely insignificant in the grander scheme of things. And there's no reason it should let us down. Yeah, we need to face our challenges, but we don't have to worry about them and ruin our day. Sometimes my dog stands in the yard by itself and it sits there, its back feet on the ground, and it sits in an upright position as if it's talking to someone. And sometimes it will sit there for 20 or 30 minutes. And is it possible that my dog is actually talking to a person that exists in a world just beyond what we can see? Remember, we see just a tiny fraction of visible light. Imagine if we could see the full scale of visible light. Would there be a bunch of worlds happening on top of each other at one time? Kind of like all the cars and traffic on the freeway? Could there be a whole bunch of layers of dimensions happening at one time? And imagine if we could hear everything. Perhaps we would go crazy. Imagine if the dog is actually talking to another person that I can't see. Wow, if that's even a possibility, which I don't know if it is or not, why would I spend my time worrying about anything? Because I don't need to. And so, I'm inviting you to take your worries into a glorious comedy because it's important to have fun with this life. And so, what I do when I hear the voices in my head that are worrying me and stressing me out is that I name them. I call the voice in my head Homer. The reason I call the voice in my head Homer is because I know that I'll immediately laugh when I hear that voice in my head. When it's worrying me and I say, okay, Homer, you know, it's not the right time for you to come out here because I'm trying to have a good day and you're always trying to ruin my day. And the reason that I do this is because psychologists tell us that 95% of our life is governed by our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind. Wow, our subconscious and unconscious mind. That means we're often not even aware of what we're doing and what we're thinking. We can begin to not live from our unconscious when we can identify it. We can be free from our unconscious when we're conscious of it. The way that we can begin to do that is by perhaps naming the voice in your head that's always stressing you out and always making you worry about things that you don't actually need to worry about. Yes, it's important, as I said, to face your challenges, but you don't need to let them stress you out. So perhaps you should turn your life into a glorious comedy and begin to name the various figures in your head that are stressing you out. When you do this, it will allow you to laugh and sit back and be like, oh man, this isn't that big of a deal. And on top of everything, if you're not stressed out, you're going to be in a more of a state of peak performance in order to face your challenges, rather than going into your challenges with your chest bent down and your neck down and your posture bad and you're stressed out and your jaw's tight and your hands are clenched up, and then you're already defeated. Hey, do you want to reverse the facts that right now America's at the highest rate of clinical depression ever? Do you want to take happiness into the win? Well, press subscribe, share, and then share a smile with the next person you see. Ready, go, go, go!